Hello and a very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us on the program People, Politics and Power. Nigeria's political landscape is once again witnessing a familiar stir, the emergence of a new political coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. Against the backdrop of widespread disillusionment with the ruling elite, economic hardships, and deepening insecurity, this coalition is promising to offer a credible alternative to the dominant parties that have shaped the Fourth Republic. In a strategic move, the coalition has adopted the African Democratic Congress (ADC) as its operational platform, bypassing the often rigorous and uncertain process of party registration. While the choice of the ADC offers immediate legal and organizational advantages, it raises a host of critical questions for observers and citizens alike. Can the ADC, historically a fringe party with limited national traction, truly carry the weight of a national movement? What mechanisms exist within this coalition to ensure internal democracy, ideological coherence, and sustainability beyond elections? Is this merely a political alliance of convenience or a genuine people's movement for reform and renewal? As the coalition gains momentum, these questions must be urgently addressed to determine whether this is a turning point for Nigeria's democracy or another episode in the circle of elite realignments and political expediency. Already, some of the major political parties whose members have aligned with the new coalition have dismissed it as an assemblage of old, recycled, desperate, frustrated, and opportunistic politicians. Ostensibly because the politicians have not been able to carry their parties along into this coalition. Moreover, a group of stakeholders in the ADC, the adopted party by the coalition, is crying murder, blue murder for that matter, and describing the process as a hijack of the party and therefore unacceptable. So, can this coalition reshape the political landscape, or is it just another failed alliance in the making, like the one of 2018 before it? Should and is the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, jittery over the emergent coalition? These are the questions that we will seek to find answers to on the program today. And I'm joined at the moment by Dr. Musa Matari Issa. He is the National Publicity Secretary of the ADC. He's joining us virtually from here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Dr. Matari Issa, thank you so much for finding time to join us.
Thank you, my presenter, and for a question, just corrections. I am not directly National Publicity of African Democratic Congress. I am the National Publicity of African Democratic Congress, CYC. CYC, take it into note. National Publicity Secretary of African Democratic Congress, CYC. One, that is the corrections. And then your questions regard to the issue of coalitions.
We will get to that very shortly, Dr. Matari. But first, what does CYC mean?
CYC, Continental Youth Council.
Okay.
ADC, Continental Youth Council. ADC, Continental Youth Council.
Continental Youth Council. Okay.
I am the National Publicity of CYC, ADC Youth Continental Council.
Right. Okay. Let's get to meet our other guest on the program. We're joined by Barrister Alphonsus Eba. Barrister Eba is the chairman, APC Cross River State, and is also the secretary of Forum of APC Chairmen. Thank you so much, Barrister Eba, for joining us.
Good afternoon, Nigerians. It's my pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Welcome. And joining us right here in the
Thank
studio
you.
is Barrister George Itodo. Barrister Itodo is a member of the ADC coalition. Thank you so much, Barrister Itodo, for finding time to join us. All right, great. So let me get back to you, Dr. Musa Matari Isa. A few days ago, you came out to issue a statement on the coalition and the adoption of the ADC as a platform. And your position was that this was a private hijack. What exactly did you mean?
We are trying to all Nigeria. My name is Dr. Musa Isa.
Dr. Matari, please go on. We can hear you.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
Please go ahead.
So the reason why we are saying let Nigeria, we want to draw the attention of them at these coalitions that is taking place. The party that we sow all our seed in, the party that we invested our time, our energy, the party that we build, ranging from the scratch up to where the party is in the national political landscape, the party that we took our time to make sure that we build the party in the nook and cranny of Federal Republic of Nigeria, just within a blink of an eye, just one day you wake up and find that some group of people intruded into the party without any proper consultation to the grassroots member, without any proper consultation to the state executive, without any proper consultation to the national youth wing, without any proper consultation to the national to the well leaders wing. We are the party that have an ideology of inclusivity. Where is the inclusivity of ADC? We are not being aware of this process. We were not being carried along. So therefore, the issue is that if any coalition is going to take place, the members of the House, the members of the party has to be more compliant with these coalitions, has to be informed and guided through to know all the process it takes before the engagements of unveiling of these coalitions. So therefore, our main bone of contention is that it's just like a conspiration of other political elite to just come and hijack our party. And despite that, those people that come into ADC, they were one time the people that are mocking us. They were one people at time that we are competing with, and now they become the leaders of the party without any including we, the original structure of ADC. That is our main contentions. And then we are not in any way disagree with this coalition, but rather the process of the coalition is totally undemocratic, is totally unconstitutional. We need to be carried along because we are the one that know the structure of the party. Let me tell you something. In ADC, we have what it calls DNA. That DNA, it reflects in our blood. And that is why whatever we are doing and whatever we have been doing in ADC, we have never think of collecting money from anybody. Because despite that, some politicians are trying to bring us into their shoe so that they can give us money in their political party. But no, we disagree with them. We continue, we maintain our stand in ADC. But how comes? Just because of either money, or because of either some pledges, or because of either some recognitions. How comes the bona fide members of the party are not being carried along into the process of coalition? That's what we are agitating for. That's why we say the coalition is totally null and void. It's totally null and void because there is nothing coalition when the members of the party are not voted. There is nothing coalitions. There is nothing coalitions when the members of the party are not being consulted, are not being carried along, are not being informed. So that is highly injustice. It's highly injustice. Everybody now, some people are even saving our phone numbers with Musa ADC. Musa ADC, Musa ADC. Almost all my people who know me, they are saving my name with Musa ADC. And now you are telling me I should go back to Jigawa I should go back to Jugawa and join people who think if not their children, nobody can rule the state. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Because let me tell you something. In Jigawa state, we have some peculiarities. The peculiarities there in our state is there are some group of politicians who believe that if not their children, if not their grandchildren, nobody can come and rule the party. And you are telling us from national, we build this party, we should go and follow this kind of people. We can't do this. The party is our party. It is our party. Therefore, we're really acting. We need just and we need necessary actions.
All right, Dr. Musa, lucky, good enough. There's a member of the coalition who is right here with me in the studio, Barrister George Todo, and I'm going to be asking him to respond to the issues that you have thrown on the table at the moment. He has thrown so many things on the table, but very germane is the fact that they who are the original members of the ADC who built that party were not consulted before the, in his own words, before the party was hijacked by these individuals who now claim to be the leaders of the ADC.
There's an extent to which I would react to that particular submission. I am not a member of ADC. I'm just a member of a coalition.
That's why I'm asking you, yes.
ADC is just a platform for the coalition.
Yes.
The coalition is not against a party per se. It's more of a coalition against policies, against bad governance and all that. So,
like, you need a platform.
We need a platform.
Political platform,
yes,
to express that opposition to the policies you are against.
I don't think the coalition, as it is, has come against anybody's interest in their various political parties. I don't think by virtue of the coming...
But that's exactly what he's saying, so, that the effort or the process of taking over the ADC as a platform was not a democratic one, and that it was a private hijack.
No, it is a coalition. This is not a takeover. This is a coalition. That even them, they are supposed to come together.
They are supposed to, but they're saying they were not consulted.
They were not. Then who are those that were consulted? I don't know the level of consultation he is talking about, but I know that this is a coalition from different political parties. I am still a member of the APC, but I am in coalition for the purpose of fighting bad governance, fighting poverty and all that. So they are on AD. Nobody is pursuing anyone from ADC. Nobody is saying no one is no longer a member of the APC.
The leadership of the ADC. No. You have taken over the leadership. No. You have appointed, the coalition has appointed a chairman, a national chairman, a national secretary, and a national spokesperson for the coalition in the ADC. So as it is today, the coalition is officially ADC.
Yes, the coalition is officially ADC, but it's coming together with ADC and all that party who share the same vision and dreams. But ADC has not come out to say, you are no longer a member of the ADC, you can no longer enjoy your privileges as an ADC member and all that. But the coalition is coming together, various persons. These are, whatever appointment that have even been done are interim basis for the purpose of bringing the various coalitive group together. No, but it is too early for someone to say, okay, no, they've taken over. No, this is for the purpose of achieving the coalition.
When you say it's too early, this is the beginning of the process.
Yes.
And at the beginning, you have already, or the coalition has already displaced those who built that party, who nurtured that party over the years. That party was established as far back as 2005 and has had members and leaders of that party over this period.
The coalition is an inclusive approach. The coalition has not excluded anybody. There's no way this coalition has excluded anybody. But when interests are coming together for interim basis, certain steps need to be taken. When APC came together, you and I know that the various parties coming together, the various interests coming together, there's a representative on both sides.
That's another issue.
That's another side.
We will come to that. That's another issue. Okay. When we talk about the coming together of the APC and the other parties at that time, it was a coalition or an alliance of political parties. But in this case, we are having individual politicians coming together. Most of them not carrying their political parties along.
No, I wouldn't actually. Aggrieved members, people who feel what the government is doing is not right. Even during the APC, whatever, it's not like people carried a political party along.
They did.
It's not.
They had all the political parties agreed and came together.
There were persons in the PDP who were there with us. There were persons in ABGA who were there with us. Not the whole political party, but certain persons who feel, no, this government is not doing right. This government needs to leave. Those are the persons who come together and say, no.
Okay. Yes. Well, for now, let's bring in Barrister Alphonsus Eba. Barrister Eba, thank you so much once again for joining us. You are a chieftain of the ruling party, the APC. Is the APC disturbed? Is the APC jittery over this emergent coalition?
I have been entertained properly in the last few minutes. And why should I be jittery? I once propounded a political theory, which was 20-something years ago, where I said a concatenation or a coalition that does not coagulate or agglutinate is tantamount to a political diarrhea and dysentery that can only find healing in the traditional tablet called Alagbin and APC, which were being administered in the late 70s and early 80s.
Barrister Eba, we're listening to you. Please go ahead with your thought process. Barrister Eba, are you with us? Well, it appears that we have some audio problems with Barrister Eba. We hope that he's able to rejoin us. But let me go back to Dr. Musa. Dr. Musa, you have listened to Barrister George Itodo. What would be your response? He is arguing that those of them who have come together in the coalition have not in any way dispensed with the rights and privileges.
And disgruntled citizens.
All right, we have Barrister Eba back now. Please go ahead.
I don't know at what point I stopped, but I was only talking about
you were explaining your theory that you propounded. The Alagbin and APC cure.
Many years ago, where I spoke about a coalition that is tantamount to what I describe as a political dysentery and diarrhea, because there is no coagulation or agglutination. And the only solution, I said, can only be by a tablet that was administered in the late 70s and early 80s called Alagbin and APC. And it is therefore no accident that 10 years later there is a political party called APC. So we are the only ones that have the solution to the confusion, to the chicanery of these political power grabbers by this association of decapitated, destabilized, and disgruntled citizens. They can compartmentalize their identity and ideas and tell you how they have failed in life. One, let me take from number one, the serial aspirant called Atiku Abubakar.
Barrister Eba, I will appreciate if you do not. Barrister Eba, I appreciate it very much. We will appreciate it very much if you do not mention names, please.
Okay, sorry. I just thought I could just identify them one by one and to let you know why we can never be jittery. Because the only weapon we have is the weapon of truth. And to tell you why we are not bothered. If we don't speak the truth to Nigerians, there was a book I read called The Gods Are Not to Blame. He said because the owner of a farm is slow in calling a thief, the thief turns around to call the farm owner a thief. The time has come for us to speak the truth to Nigerians. I am happy. I am the political evangelist. We are political evangelism. And we are putting it to the ADC so-called political do-gooders. Tell us, if you were faced with the same economic situation that President Asiwaju Bola Tinubu came to meet in 2023, when we were spending 97% of our revenue to service debt, to print money to pay salaries, which went to the tune of 33 trillion, what would you have done differently? Outside removing the fuel subsidy and doing the flotation of the naira, which today has brought more revenue, that has now brought the servicing of this debt to around 60-something%, that has put more money at the subnational. Yes, these economic reforms are going to come with its hardship, but they did not give us a day to even settle down and be focused. But we have weathered the storm. Nigeria is getting back. From 1,900 that this dollar went to, it is today around 1,500. From 1,300 or 400 a liter of fuel, it has come back to 800 and something. Minimum wage has climbed from 18, from 30,000 to 70,000 something. Bag of rice that went to 130 something thousand is back to 63. Today, everything will come down, and all we plead with Nigerians. Do not be deceived by these political chicaneries, these jiggery pokerers, these excited and tired people who have attained political menopause and cannot offer anything to Nigerians. Do not be deceived by them. A man who comes to say after government that he was hungry for power can only, in all sensitivity, be hungry for power, and we do not have a space for him. If you were a former speaker, a former governor, a former minister, and you are still hungry, you do not have a place in present-day reality. If you have been a serial aspirant from 1992 till today, 40 years online, please give the young Hausa boy an opportunity to run election. Give my brother Itodo today an opportunity. At 50 today, I am privileged under APC be a state chairman of a political party. And that is what we are talking about. Please and please, leaders of tomorrow, today we are leaders. Take the Nigerian that belongs to you. It is time not just to only retire these people, we'll sit them and send them and pursue them to the cesspit of emotional flotsam and the political cesspit where they all belong, because there will be commodities that will be fit for the political museum in 2027, and that is our position.
But Barrister Eba,
So we are not
I
bothered.
need you
We are
to
not G3.
I need you to
I speak with
respond.
realistic optimism, and I
Barrister Eba, I need you to respond to the issues that the coalition has thrown on the table, and which, of course, Barrister Itodo here has also amplified, to the extent that they say that in 2 years, the APC government at the center has destroyed the economy and has created social, political, and security problems for Nigeria and for Nigerians. That is the basis. And they are saying, look, we are coming to restore not just democracy, but restore the economy. Barrister Eba. Well, we hope to reconnect with Barrister Eba to address those issues. But let's get back to Dr. Musa. Dr. Musa, are you with us? Doctor? Okay. Well, we hope to get back Dr. Musa as well. But let me come back to you, Itodo. Barrister Eba has thrown so many things on the table for you to chew on.
Yes. While I appreciate his effort, but while he's still reading his books and theories, he has forgotten about the reality on ground. The reality on ground is that there's poverty. The reality on ground, there's hunger. The reality on ground is that there's unemployment. He has admitted that there's more money in this government. The question is, how can more money translate to more poverty? How can more money translate to unemployment? This is him contradicting himself. They are saying this government has successfully bringing more money. Yes, they've lifted subsidy. So therefore, there are more savings in this government. The question is, what is the money for? Where is the money? It's not reflecting on the life of Nigerians. And when Dr. Rotimi Amechi made reference to being hungry, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about Nigeria. And that's the attribute of a good leader who speaks for his people. He wasn't speaking to himself as I, Dr. Amechi. He's talking about Nigerians. And that shows the level of leadership he exhibits, speaking for the people. He is talking about they are not G3. Believe me, they are G3. They are having sleepless nights, and I'm talking to you right now. A place where you now have more inflow of money, but there's more poverty, there's unemployment, there's abuse of power everywhere. What characterizes this government other than hunger, unemployment, abuse of power? Then what does this government have to show for? Then a government that came into power from the first day, this government lost in touch with the people. Their only focus is on 2027. That's what this government has been about from the day this government was sworn in.
Barrister Eba asked a question.
Yes.
About the state of the economy in 2023. And he asked a very vital question. What would any other president have done? Because almost all the three major presidential candidates in 2023 said the same thing, made the same promises about the economy and all of that.
Yes.
So what is different that this government is doing from what the others would have done if they were elected?
Before I answer that, let me address the issue of dollar was this. Dollar, he made dollar 700. Now dollar is 1,500. And he's telling me he's doing better. You made fuel barely 200 and something.
Yeah, but that's the question I've asked now, because all the three major presidential candidates in 2023 made the same promises about removing subsidy, about flotation of the naira, and all of that. So what would they have done differently? Or how would they have done it differently?
Number one, the first thing they would have done is the mode of implementation of the subsidy removal. You must have taken holistic approach. You must have studied assessment of the situation. Then you know you don't just remove subsidy. And that is one. Then the second one is, okay, you have saved this money. Where is the money? The money is not telling on Nigeria. If the money is telling on Nigeria, there won't be this complaint. Where is the money?
The states are getting more allocation.
More
fact,
allocation.
3 times more
This government,
than they had
They had.
previously. Yes.
Yes.
So why are we not asking those questions at the subnational level?
Of course, we're asking those questions at subnational level.
So why is all the blame being heaped on the center?
No, we are not saying all the blame. Of course, when we get to the state level, we
Because
still
there are
ask these
members
questions.
of the coalition who are also state governors, who are chief executives in their various states.
Yes.
What have they done with the added revenue, the extra revenue that has been given to them from the federal purse?
Yes, but if you want to, me and you know that if you want to really deal with, even those that want to work, did they allow them work? We have the river state governor who wanted to stand with his people. Where is he a sitting governor right now?
That's
Is he a
just
sitting
one
governor?
out of
That's
36.
just one. Some of them are
Just
working.
one out
If you
of
go,
36.
if you go to Kogi State now, despite inherited leadership from the worst governors we've ever had in Nigeria, but it's one of the best governors currently in terms of performance, salary, and all that. It's reflecting the life of these people. They are good people, no doubt. But we're talking about this president now, his policies, his attraction to resources is what we're condemning. You remove subsidy. Where is the money? Now, if you go to the last president, check out his appointment on economic areas. CBN, he took it to South-South. I get my point. NMPC.
Is it a question of regional or zonal distribution, or a question of competence?
No, it's a question of target. What is his motives? Motives. What is his motive?
So are
In
these
every
part
man-
of the grievances of the coalition?
No, not like they are part of the grievances of the
Yes.
They are part of it. Look at the whole GC appointment, economic areas. They are all the Lagos boys.
Does that not validate the argument by those in the APC and other political parties who say that those who are in the coalition right now is an assemblage of what they call desperate, frustrated politicians and individuals with different interests?
That is where they are getting it wrong. This coalition is not about individuality of any person. It's not about any person. It's about a coalition against policies, bad policies, against hunger, against unemployment. That is where they are getting it wrong. They think this is about certain persons who they have been mentioning their name. It's not about those people.
Okay.
I am not those persons.
I'm happy that Dr. Musa is back with us. Dr. Musa, let me get back to you. I had asked earlier on, based on the position taken by Saitodo, who says that those of you who are original members of the ADC have not been dispensed to it, and that your rights and privileges in the party are intact. Is that the situation?
No, it is not. Actually, it's not. Because let me tell you something. From the beginning, we have what we call ideology of ADC. ADC as a political party has its own ideology, which is quite different with the other political party. In ADC, we don't normally oppose politicians. We don't oppose any governance. We rather propose the solutions. We look at the solution. We don't oppose. That is why ADC member with ADC DNA, we don't oppose any political party. We don't oppose any politicians or governance or leadership. We rather propose. The essence of proposal is that when you see that this person is making a mistake, is so complying with certain procedures, you you are just to propose solution to that. One. And secondly, by issue of saying that the member of ADC regionally were being carried along or will be carried along, it is not. The reason is that most of those that are now coming into the coalitions are those people that rule the country for donkey years, and we know them and we have the experience of what they have contributed in this country. The whole idea of this argument is that the kind of people that come into the coalition, that's what disheartening all our minds. We know they are those that have been ruling this country. If you trace back to their history, you cannot record a single thing they have planned for national development, for youth development, to curtail the issue of unemployment. But they are the same persons that will come into ADC and be challenging the government for insecurity, hunger, and unemployment. What did they do when they were ruling the country? Were they not part and parcel of the leadership of Nigeria? Were they not one time or the other ruled this country? So now we need fresh idea. We need fresh people to come into on board so that they can rule the country with free energy, with energy that can make Nigeria an El Dorado. But let me tell you something. What all those people they are proposing for power. When they become into power, let me tell you something. The mass.
Dr. Musa, what you are saying in effect is that the ideology of the ADC
is not to oppose. It's not to oppose.
What we are saying is, in effect, is that the ideology of the ADC does not align with that or those of the people coming into the coalition to take over the ADC.
Are you throwing a question to me?
Yes.
Yes, the whole idea of this coalition, it has to be a coalition that engage the grassroots members of the party. All stakeholders must be included, must be carried into the coalition process so that they will be acquainted with the agreement, with the content of the coalitions. As of now, if I ask you, now, have you ever seen any document that was signed for these coalitions? That is, this is the template or this is what we have agreed of the modality of these coalitions? Would they agree that the coalition should be 50-50? ADC will bring 50 and the other party will bring 50? Or would they agree with 70-30 or 40-60? There is nothing on ground. It is just a process of wiping all our members out of the system. And this is not fair. This is not fair because how many years have we been spending our time, our money, our energy, our resources to advance the good wills of this party? Why did we join ADC? We didn't join ADC because we want to acquire a seat or want to acquire a position. It's not like that. We came to ADC because ADC has good manifestations, has good ideology, has good aims and objectives. That is the essence why we are in ADC. ADC is the only party that a poor man can contest, a less privileged can contest without collecting 1 naira as.
All right, Dr. Musa, let's bring in Barrister Alphonsus Eba at this point in time. Barrister Eba, Barrister Itodo here is originally a member of the APC, your party, but has now joined that coalition, and you do have a number of other persons who were members or who are members of the APC who are now aligning with the coalition. Now, what exactly is the party's position on that? Barrister Eba. Okay, while we wait for Barrister Eba to rejoin us, let me ask you the question that Dr. Musa has posed.
Yes.
Now, all those, or at least the figureheads of this coalition, those who are the originators of this coalition, are persons who have held political power in this country since 1999.
Yes.
And even before 1999.
Yes.
And they have been in power at one time and or the other.
Yes.
So they are the same people who have presided over the affairs of Nigeria since that time, and even beyond. So what exactly are they bringing to the table that they have not done in 25 years of Nigeria's return to democracy?
You're making a broad statement. If you narrow it down to names, I can tell the achievement and what those persons have achieved. For instance, you are talking about Amishi, for instance. Me and you know his records are in River State.
Just,
It's a record that can never be washed away.
Just
As
hold
the
your
transport
thought.
minister.
Just hold your thought. Let me bring in the Barrister Eba now, who has rejoined us. Barrister Eba, thank you so much. Yes.
Sir.
So I asked a question. I don't know if you heard that question. Barrister Itodo here is originally a member of the APC. And like others, he has migrated from the APC to the coalition. What is the position of your party on that?
Hello, hello.
Yes, Barrister Eba, we can hear you.
Hello,
Yes, we can hear you, Barrister Eba. Please go ahead.
hello.
We can hear you, Barrister Eba. All right, there appears to be a connection problem. So let's get back to you.
So if you
Go ahead.
if you talk about Peter Obi, you know his record in Anambra State, as the governor of Anambra State. You talk about
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
if you talk about Amishi, you know his record in the transport sector. If you talk about Atiku Abubakar, you know he was the person who stood against the abuse of our constitutional abuse. He stopped the third term agenda. Not just that, he recommended the most weighty appointees of President Olusegun Obasanjo as at that time.
The question is, what new change can these people bring about, having presided over the affairs of government at one time or the other between 1999 and now? What is new? He says that they are old and they are recycled, and that we need new blood like you to get on the stage. Why do we need to keep falling back on these old hands?
Nobody is telling you that ADC is all about these names. ADC is a coalition.
No, the coalition
of
is about
yes,
all these
of
names.
Nigerians.
It's
Rising
about these
against.
names.
Yeah.
Because this is not a coalition of political parties. It's a coalition of individual politicians like you.
It is their strategy to limit it to certain names. It's a coalition of the people saying we are fighting this. We don't want this. It is their strategy. You are going to hear more. We are used to that, and we'll respond in all of them. Do you understand? It is them restricted to names. The last election, you know, our president tried to restrict it to religion, try to tie Nigerian vote on religious grounds. It's going to come. You are going to hear different.
He didn't do that. It was the opposition that kept on talking about Muslim ticket. It was
the president. It was not the opposition who appointed the vice president for the president.
No, but the opposition orchestrated it.
Yes,
that's the point.
Because of inclusiveness.
It was
for
not,
inclusiveness' sake. That was why the opposition opposed it. To the purpose of one Nigeria, this is something we have been fighting for.
Have we not, as a country, gone beyond these ethno-religious characterization?
But
Should we not move beyond that? Is that
but no matter how
that this coalition is still going to put
no. No matter how we move beyond that, we should also not move beyond self-belonging. We should also feel very important. Your strategy should not override the interest of the country.
Should service not be the ultimate, the ultimate goal of anyone who gets into political office and political power?
Yes.
And not his religion and not his...
No, nobody's against the religion. Nobody's against his religion, neither against his region. We're against performance, service. It is the service we're saying he has not delivered that service. We all supported him, but he has not delivered the service.
In 2 years.
In 2 years. The moment he was sworn in, he's focused on 2027. Why important? 2027, the moment he's sworn in. He started getting jittery about opposition. His main focus is, how do I either destroy the opposition or bring in the opposition to the party or whatever. That is not. A president should be, if he has started his political focus in end of 2026, he has tried, he has focused on the people. From the first day, it wasn't about the people. It was about 2027.
But the opposition also started from day one to campaign for 2027 by their conduct and by the way they opposed his policies. So what were you expecting him? What were you expecting him to do?
Excuse me. Opposition of bad policy is not a campaign for the next election. When you oppose bad policy, we have been here. I've been here several times. There are times I
I
applaud
have
policy.
not said it's bad policy. I have said policy.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a
Yes.
campaign. I'm not saying it amount to campaign. I've been here several times. I applaud some policy. I condemn some policy. It doesn't mean I'm making campaign for 2027. It's about we are Nigerians, for God's sake.
Okay, now let's look at this. I'm hoping that Barrister Eba will rejoin us so that he can respond to some of these issues. Barrister Eba, are you with us now?
I think it's here.
Is Barrister Eba with us now?
Maybe the grammar is affected.
Okay. So I'll try and see if we can get Dr. Musa Matari to also respond to some of the issues that you have thrown
and
up.
to what the last thing Dr. Musa Masari said,
Yes.
and all that. See, thank God he said their vision before is to support and not to oppose. There are channels. If it's an agreed member of the ADC, there are channels. Come to the ADC. Oh, see, we're not being carried along. The person is there. Do you understand? You'll be included. You'll be.
No, but his argument is that there was no consultation, even at grassroots level. What he has said.
He's a genuine member. I respect him.
What he has said,
I respect him.
What he has said in very plain terms is that the leadership of the ADC clearly sold out the APC to the ADC to the coalition. That's what he has said in very few words.
So I don't know more, but I don't think so. It's just ADC
Because they were not carried along. If they were carried along, they will not.
What I'm saying
that, what they are saying right
what
now.
I'm saying that he said is they try to propose and not to oppose. Those are the things they have channels of complaint. Those are the things you should channel through the proper channel. You get whatever.
So, but he's saying from the word go that those in the alliance did not also go through the proper channel in taking over the party. So why do you expect them now to go through a proper channel when you did not go through the proper channel in taking over the party? Don't forget that initially the alliance wanted to use another political party, the SDP. That did not work before the ADC made itself available and amenable to the alliance as a platform.
No, these negotiations have the alliance have not come out to say, okay, it is SDP. Just one member of the alliance went to SDP. These negotiations have been on for if he had this complaint, when this alliance, the negotiation stage was, he would have gone there,
okay,
make that complaint,
well,
and all that.
Let me come to another issue, which is the issue that he raised of a ideological bent of what the coalition...
To propose and not to oppose.
No, what the coalition stands for.
Yes.
Those of you coming into the coalition are from different political parties,
yes,
with different
ideologies.
Yes. And then you are coalescing into one group with different interests, with different programs, with different ideology. How are you going, or how is the coalition likely going to come up? Is it going to adopt the ideology of the ADC, the platform that they have adopted, or they are going to rewrite?
Consolidate.
Are they going to consolidate because your ideologies and programs are interests are very divergent?
No, I disagree with you when you use the word interest.
Yes, they are interests.
No, the interests are not different. The ideology may be different, but the interests are not different. The interest is good governance.
What is ideology, if not
no,
interest?
Ideology is maybe a means of achieving that interest. The interest is to provide good governance for Nigeria. That is the interest. But the ideologies may be different. That's why that is why it's a coalition. You come together, you put it on the table. We'll look at the left, look at the right, and all that. Then bring a consolidated ideology that benefits Nigerians. That's
so
what
you're saying now is the coalition is going to write a new ideology for the ADC.
Not like a new ideology. We are
yes,
going to,
of course, because you are going to aggregate the ideologies of all these.
Consolidation is different from rewriting.
Yeah, consolidation it will be different from what the ADC currently has.
Yes, exactly. It may not. But one thing that will stand out is that it will be in the interest of Nigerians. Whatever ideology it is, be it a consolidated, that of a PDP meshed together, whatever, it must be in the interest of Nigeria. We are there. We are supporting the coalition. Doesn't
the ideology of your original political party, the APC,
yes,
in 2023, when you went for election, was it not in the interest of Nigerians? Which of the political parties that exist today has an ideology that is not in the interest of Nigerians?
Yes. In APC, in all sincerity, from 2015, even before whatever, my activists are there, the ideology was for Nigerians. But when the implementation of those ideology start becoming personal. Implementation of those ideology start running against the interests of Nigeria, the daily lives of Nigeria, the welfare of Nigeria. And of course, for God's sake, we need to look for another platform to express that ideology. It's about Nigeria at the end of the day.
It is all about
Nigerians.
A platform to get to power.
No.
Not necessarily because it is going to be in the interest of Nigerians.
No,
because from 1999 till now, you can characterize every government and every political party that has been in power. Yes. And there's something to say about each and every one of them.
Yes.
At every level.
Of course.
Right.
There's something to say. Nobody's saying that coalition is going to run a very perfect administration. But at least it will be people-based administration. Okay. It will be administration that drives the welfare and interest of the people. That's what I say. Nobody can run 100% whatever. But situation where we have a president that intentionally neglect the people.
By Satodo, our time is running out. Let's see if we can get Barrister Eba back for his final thoughts. Barrister Eba, we have missed you for quite a while. Yes, we are rounding off our discussion. I'm sure you have listened to everything that Barrister Satodo and Dr. Musa has said. What will be your final thoughts?
The network was actually terrible.
Yeah,
Before I give my final thought, please, I will appeal. I'm in Benin for our zonal meeting. Give us Monday. I will come into Abuja on Sunday to be at the studio with you. Nigerians, met the young man came out to speak about the ideologies of the ADC. The original ADC we know here, we welcome opposition. We will tolerate every opposition. We are not against any opposition. We have made mistakes. But Nigeria under President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is on the right trajectory. It's in the right direction. No matter the distraction, we will remain focused. And we appeal to Nigerians to support the policies of the renewed hope, because this is the only hope that will bring life back to Nigeria.
Well, we do sincerely apologize for the poor network connections, which has also hindered or prevented our online guests, our virtual guests, from really reaching out.
I think the network is protesting. Because they have not been network, the network is protesting.
Network cannot protest.
The network has been protesting.
But I told you.
For the past 2 months in Abuja, yeah, network has been protesting.
Yeah, but that
even the network is protesting.
Okay. I think Barrister Eba is still on. Okay, Barrister Eba, we look forward to your coming into Abuja next week, and we can have a more meaningful discussion. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Our time is up. We must go. Dr. Musa Matarisa, unfortunately, we are unable to reconnect with him, but we're looking forward to a more robust discussion in the days and the weeks ahead. We want to thank Dr. Musa Matarisa, National Publicity Secretary, ADC Continental Youth Council, for joining us on the program. Barrister Alphonsus Eba is the chairman of the APC in Cross River State, and is also the Secretary Forum of APC Chairmen. And of course, right here in the studio, we had Barrister George Itodo, a member of the coalition that has now adopted the ADC as its platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
And to you, our viewers out there, we thank you for investing your time with us. Join us again when we bring you a fresh edition of People, Politics, and Power. Bye for now.